Here at Rogers TV Thunder Bay, we believe it's important to provide you, our viewers, with crucial information leading up to the upcoming election. To ensure you have the most accurate and balanced insights, we've reached out to the candidates running in the Thunder Bay Atikokan and Thunder Bay Superior North electoral districts. We asked them to provide a 3-minute explanation of their platform, offering them an equal opportunity to share plans with you. Now let's hear their responses.
Hi, I'm Lise Vaugeois. I am the Ontario NDP candidate running for re-election in Thunder Bay Superior North. It has been an honour and a privilege to represent Northwestern Ontario at Queen's Park over the last 2.5 years. We're at a very critical moment in time. Healthcare, education, our highways, housing, we're struggling in all of these areas. We've seen poverty at levels that have never been seen before in Ontario. This needs to change. Our public dollars need to be supporting our public services, not going to pay for luxury spas in Toronto. That's an abuse of public funding. So if we look at our education, we've got children who are not able to get buses to school anymore because of underfunding of our education. We have kids with special needs who are not able to get the supports they need at school, and so then they have to stay home. This isn't acceptable. In healthcare, we have the family health teams throughout the region that have not received an increase in funding in 10 years, which means that they have actually been getting cut for the last 10 years. That's really causing difficulties to keep staffing in the regions. And finally, the highways. The highway safety is compromised. We all know that, and we know that there are solutions, and our government, the NDP, would pursue those solutions. And that means testing and licensing needs to be regulated, and our inspection stations need to be staffed. In closing, I would like to say we have, as Northerners, we have an opportunity to make significant change. And I hope that you will get out and vote, and I certainly hope that you will get out and vote for me.
Hi, I'm Catherine Sutari, running for the New Blue Party of Ontario. I'm running in the Thunder Bay Superior North riding. I chose to run for the New Blue as they are a grassroots conservative party where the members actually vote on the policies of the party without lobbyists or special interest groups. Biggest thing that one of the big things that drew me to the New Blue was the fact that they have a plan in place, their policy declaration that can be found on their website, which lays out their whole policy plan, actions, and the accountability is there right before the election is even over. Part of their plan is to have parental choice tax credits for schooling. So that would mean that parents would have a choice of how they want to educate their kids, and homeschooling may be an option, whatever means it is, and the tax credits would follow the student or whatever. Actually cutting the carbon tax or eliminating it completely. The federal government put a carbon tax on, then the Ontario government put another carbon tax. So now we have carbon tax after carbon tax. They want to even go to the extreme of eliminating the HST, bring it down to 10%, and then possibly eliminating it completely. Big one is accountability. Because they have a plan in place that everybody can look at on the website, their policy declaration, they're held accountable right from the beginning. They deviate from the plan. People can question right off the hop just looking at the plan. They have probably 42 policies that they propose in this election. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Brian Hamilton, the Ontario Liberal candidate for Thunder Bay Superior North. I'm a father, a small business owner, and have served the City of Thunder Bay as a City Councillor for the last 6 years. I also serve the district as chair of the Thunder Bay District Social Services Administration Board. But most importantly, I'm just like you. Like you, I struggle with affordability, often having to make tough decisions on which bills to pay every month. Like you, I see friends and families struggle to find affordable housing and quality health care, where 1 in 4 of us lack access to a family doctor. Like you, I see the growth of homelessness and mental health issues as people struggle to survive in Doug Ford's Ontario. I think we know we can all do better. By investing in people, we will not only provide dignity and security to residents, but be able to build a more stable and strong northern economy. As a Thunder Bay City Councillor, I've seen firsthand the relationship between the province and municipalities, its effect on roads, taxation, our ability to respond to crime. As your MPP, with years of experience in the municipal domain, I'll be able to respond in a thoughtful way to the needs of northern communities. We know we need safer highways to better support our educators and students. We need to foster economic growth with energy and a skilled workforce. These are pillars of the new Liberal platform and my work orders on day one. Our region is unique and requires unique northern solutions. As your representative, I will continue to listen and elevate your concern and ideas at Queen's Park. I will be your strong and informed northern voice. I believe that strong communities are built from the ground up. I've been there, I get it, and I will always be in your corner. On February 27th, vote for experienced leadership you can trust. On February 27th, vote Brian Hamilton for Thunder Bay Superior North.
Hi, I'm Kevin Holland, your PC candidate for Thunder Bay Atikokan. Over the past 2.5 years, I've had the privilege of working closely with community leaders, organizations, and businesses to bring about positive change for our riding. I've drawn on my experience as a community leader and business owner to bring people together to effect significant progress in areas that matter most. Since June 2022, I've secured over $1.3 billion in investments across all sectors, supporting our local economy and improving daily life. By bringing 108 minister visits to the riding, we've highlighted Northern Ontario's unique challenges, bringing vital attention to our community's needs. Mental health and addiction services has been a priority for me, and I've worked with local organizations to establish key programs, including the STAR program, the Youth Wellness Hub, and a Safe Sobering site. We've also expanded mental health services at Thunder Bay Regional Hospital by developing a dedicated area in the emergency department. These efforts, as part of the over $263 million in healthcare investments, are improving care in our region. Economic growth has also been strong, with major investments like the $500 million Alstom contract. Increased homelessness prevention program funding has led to the creation of over 180 affordable housing units. Investments like the nearly $20 million to the City of Thunder Bay to develop new building lots is helping families achieve home ownership. As we face global uncertainties, including tariff threats from President Trump, it's critical that we continue to have a proven, strong voice at the table. We need stability and strength to protect Ontario and continue the progress we've achieved. Looking forward, I will continue to focus on the opportunities we have in Thunder Bay while continuing to address key priorities like transportation safety. I will continue to work with police and emergency services to find solutions to this important issue. With 21 years as a firefighter, I've seen firsthand the real challenges faced and will continue to work to find solutions. I can't do any of this work alone. It's a collective effort, and together we've achieved so much, but there's much more to do. And I'm excited for the opportunity to continue working with you to protect and improve Thunder Bay Atikokan. Thank you for your support.
Hello everyone, my name is Martin Templeman. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself as a candidate and nominee representing New Blue Party of Ontario for the Thunder Bay Atikokan riding. I'd like to present to you the platform and principles of the party. And the easiest way and quickest way to do that is to use the word liberty. I think if you look online or look at the policy, the platform principles, you'll see that liberty encompasses each one of those items. I would also like to present the fact that in our society, we're used to living within spheres, and each sphere represents its own, so to speak, responsibilities. I'll just say that those would include government, education, places of worship, family, and healthcare. each sphere isn't necessarily bigger than the other one. They're all, and each one independently important. They may overlap or interact at times, but they're certainly not engulfing one or the other. The proper role of government is to be a good steward, to be responsible and accountable, in particular with your taxes, even though there's other things. And if I were to bring up taxes, I would say most Ontarians that I know and that you know are tired of paying taxes to ideologies and philosophies which are often within a different sphere. So we need to encourage people to see that in our policies and role as a new party, because it's a grassroots party, we would provide good governments because we understand the role that we play in Ontario. And so when you see at the ballot my name, Martin Templeman, please consider putting an X there before you go to the ballot. And I'm confident that you will see, after having conversed with your family and friends and neighbors, that this is the best choice right now. We have other parties that are fiscally, I'm going to say, irresponsible. There are other parties that have lost sight of their role, of their sphere. They're not only overlapping them, they're engulfing one within the other. And we need to get back to the idea that each sphere is responsible and needs to be accountable and responsible within their own sphere. So thank you for that once again. I'm looking forward to spring, as many of you are. And I'm looking forward to a new government. Thank you, Doug Ford, for this opportunity, although unwelcomed by many because it's a year and a half too soon. We thank you and look forward to you at the polls. Bye for now.
They are using a crisis in this country to distract voters, and in holding a snap election that is less than 5 weeks long, that's in the middle of the winter in Northern Ontario, and that only has 3 advanced polling days. If that isn't voter suppression, I don't know what is. This election is costing $12.75 million and being held a year and a half before the election date that is supposed to happen. Doug Ford already has a mandate. He didn't need this election, and it's just a manipulation and distraction. And that is typical of what I saw in my time as MPP. They have spent the most of any government ever, according to our Ontario Auditor General, on pre-election promotion of their government. For an election, only they knew they were going to call and when they were going to call it. They've spent $2 billion. That is 2,000 million. So to get, because $1 billion sounds like an incredible sort of like catchphrase nowadays, but that is 2 billion is 2,000 million on giving everyone in Ontario a $200 check. A $200 check is not going to fix our healthcare systems, our education systems, or provide the much needed support of the homeless and those who need to be housed. I ask you, how many hospital beds, nurses, doctors could have been supported with that $2 billion? How many people could have been helped? How many children educated? Do you know that in Northwestern Ontario, every single student is being funded $1,500 less than they were, which is a cut to our education systems? Our post-secondary education systems are being threatened at Lakehead University and Conn College. They are threatened of being basically unsupported to the effect that they will no longer exist, that we will no longer have northern universities and colleges. When I was elected in 2018, when we had years of Liberal governments, we already had a healthcare crisis, we already had a long-term care crisis. Now, 7 years later, we do not see improvements. Actually, all those situations are worse. We have a plan with a Northern Incentive Program for health. We will make the commitment to publicly funded healthcare, which is something that this government is eroding with privatization and increasing costs to everyone who needs healthcare in this area.
Hi, I'm Stephen Marguerite, your Ontario Liberal candidate for Thunder Bay Atikokan this election, February 27th. Thunder Bay is my home and I'm a local champion. Born and raised in Thunder Bay, I attended Lakehead University, where I graduated with an honors Bachelor of Arts in History and Political Science. After that, I got the experience to work for MPP Michael Gravel, where I saw firsthand the role of an MPP, and I got to assist hundreds of constituents with their issues with the provincial government and its programs. After that, I worked at Thunder Bay's largest private sector employer, Bombardier. It was a great experience, and I got to see firsthand what a large manufacturer can do to the local economy and spin-offs. Unfortunately, with this provincial government, there were massive layoffs after they came into power. And during that time, I worked at the Bombardier Labour Action Centre, where I assisted hundreds of former Bombardier staff into new positions in the community and new career paths, and it was an amazing experience. This government is not focused on you and the services you rely on. So this election, you need to vote for people who are going to bring back government funding and a priority to those social services that we rely on. Whether it's healthcare, getting you access to a family doctor, education, making sure we have smaller class sizes, more investment, and that our education workers and teachers aren't burnt out. Affordable housing, to make sure that new families and the youngest in our community can afford a starter home, and one that's accessible and that they could grow their families in. And also the cost of living, making sure affordability is top of mind so that you get tax breaks. This election, there'll be a lot of candidates out there. I hope you consider me. Whether it's my public or private sector experience, we need to work on getting investment into Thunder Bay Atikokan, both in Thunder Bay and the surrounding communities and in Atikokan, making sure that we have thriving communities that can continue in this economy and looking at diversifying those jobs for the next generation of workers. But it's not just about that. It's about having a representative who you feel speaks for you at Queen's Park. And I feel that with that experience, with that community involvement I do, seeing firsthand, whether it's volunteering at Shelter House or RFDA, seeing how people are struggling, and seeing what it will be like if we could have a government that's focused on you. So on this February 27th, I hope you'll consider me, Stephen Marguerite, your Ontario Liberal candidate here in Thunder Bay Atikokan. Thanks.